Hello everyone, welcome to this session. In this session, we would try to understand hybrid agile in practice. Now, I'm sure most of you might already be doing this in their respective projects, or you might have read some article or material in the public domain. Today, we are going to understand it in a deeper context. Now, before even beginning to understand hybrid agile approach in practice, we need to understand the project phases in a nutshell. Typically, we have these four major phases in a project, which is your analysis phase, followed by the development phase, followed by the quality assurance phase. And together, these three phases contributes to one outcome, which is your delivery phase, wherein we give the necessary working software to the customer, which is essentially your delivery phase. Now, if we had to map a timeline around these phases, out of the 100% project effort, 30% effort is consumed during the analysis phase, 50% effort is consumed during the development phase, and 20% effort is consumed during the quality assurance phase, which gives the 100% outcome, which is your delivery. Now, these are the four phases in a project. Now, if we had to explore the hybrid agile approach in a deeper context, let us understand this in a detailed manner. Now, what happens in hybrid agile is we combine two methodologies. One is your traditional approach, which is nothing but your waterfall methodology, and the agile approach. Now, agile can be Kanban, can be Scrum. It's up to you what flavor of agile you want to use as the next alternative along with the traditional waterfall approach. Now, what happens in hybrid agile is we set ourselves a time period. Now, this time period can range between 3 to 4 months. During this 3 to 4 months, we complete major chunk of our requirement. Now, this 3 to 4 months is specifically dedicated to discovery of the requirement, elicitation of the requirement, gathering of the requirement, and the sign off of the requirement. So usually whatever the requirement analysis phases which we have, discovery, elicitation, analysis, gathering, sign off, they all are done at a what I would say in a upfront manner during this 3 to 4 months. Now, once we have gathered enough information about that particular project, we start to translate those high level requirements, which would essentially in the form of business requirement documents, supported by the functional specification, supported by other artifacts like UML, use cases, UI screens, process flows, DFTs, whatever XYZ artifacts. We start translating, transitioning them into user stories. Now, this is where when the agile approach starts. Now, in the agile approach, we give all the user stories to the developer as requirements. Uh, After development, it moves to quality assurance for testing. After that, it moves to delivery for acceptance. Now, in between that, there are multiple things that happens. QA may raise defects. There could be bug. If you are following an agile approach, it's very obvious there might be some production support tickets alongside your regular requirements. So everything has to be taken care by the respective team. When it comes to development, they should be accountable for requirements, defect fixes, bug fixes, production support fixes, data fixes, any XYZ item. When it comes to quality assurance people, they should be accountable for testing, retesting, regression, recreation of bug, and all those aspects. When it comes to delivery, they should be responsible for acceptance of the user story. If they have some feedback during the sprint demo, those feedback could be translated into newer requirements that could be incorporated during this agile phase. And if there are any new change requests apart from whatever we have documented, those would also come in during these agile approach. Now remember, this is a continuous delivery phase We just start with waterfall for 3 to 4 months. After that, we go into continuous delivery mode following an agile approach. Now, this can be executed with the help of any XYZ agile framework, Scrum, Kanban, XP, whatever you want. Now, does this mean that our work as a business analyst has ended? No, we do have to do the requirements management part, which includes tracing, versioning, reusing if needed, handling the change requests, doing impact analysis. If you need more information about this, do check out my video on requirements management principles. You would get more detailed understanding about it. Now, this is what industry thinks the hybrid agile approach. Now, when do we adapt this approach? Now, there could be certain situations wherein we would be adapting this approach. Now, usually, whenever we know a certain portion of requirement upfront, that is the ideal time wherein we adapt this approach. For example, legacy system upgrade. Now we have a system with us which has the requirements in place. So if we would like to upgrade that system, we can go with this approach. Like building a new parallel system. If you would like to build a old parallel system, or I mean, it is very similar to the legacy system upgrade, but parallel system is like if we would like to build a system which is an extension of a platform. Like you have developed a particular website, now you go to a mobile app, now you go to a tablet app, you are building a new parallel system. Now most of the requirements are known to you upfront. Migrating a new domain product. Now you might be aware of a certain domain product like Infosys Finacle, which is very popular in banking domain. If you would like to move from Finacle to any XYZ domain product, in that case also most of your business requirements are known to you upfront. You can go with hybrid agile approach. Application modernization. Now let's say you have been using a system which is based on very old technology, and you would like to make it more responsive, make it more aligned with the newer generation people. You would like to change the UI of it. So those kind of projects would also fall under this approach. Digitizing a manual process. If there are any manual process for which you would like to go with digitization, you know the manual process upfront, you can go for hybrid agile approach as explained, as understood here. So essentially in every case wherein a chunk of requirement is known upfront, you can go with this approach. But wait, is it really hybrid agile? A big no. This is not a hybrid agile. Although industry refers it as hybrid agile, but this is not hybrid agile. Then what it is? Well, this is a combination of agile and waterfall. It is referred to as water scrum fall, or we also refer to it as hybrid development approach. This is not hybrid agile approach, this is hybrid development approach, wherein we combine two methodologies, the waterfall and the scrum. That makes it as hybrid development approach or water scrum fall. So what is hybrid agile in practice? Now whatever we have seen so far or understood so far, this is what people practice in the industry referring to as hybrid agile. But this is not hybrid agile, this is water scrum fall. This approach was recognized in 2013 by Forrester Research. You can search about this research and its artifacts in the public domain. You would find lots of articles on this. Then what is hybrid agile in real? Well, hybrid agile is a blend of two or more agile approaches. Now, like I said, agile has different flavors like Scrum, Kanban, XP, or there are multiple other flavors which comes into agile. Now, hybrid agile in real is when we combine two flavors of agile and execute them. For example, Scrumban, wherein we combine two agile methodologies, Scrum plus Kanban. Scrum XP, wherein we combine two flavors of agile, Scrum plus XP. It is not like that you pick waterfall and you pick agile and term it as hybrid agile. No, this is not the case. The real what I would say context of hybrid agile, or the real hybrid agile, is Scrumban or Scrum XP, not the previous one or the hybrid development process which we understood. Now, the reason for increased adoption of water scrum fall, why we have been adapting this thing instead of following the real hybrid agile. Well, there are a couple of reasons to it. Let us try to understand with the help of this example. Now, predictive is nothing but your waterfall approach, wherein we have a bulk planning of requirements upfront, because we had the necessary system or necessary process discovery artifacts with us. We planned our requirement upfront in bulk. Then we followed the agile, the iterative approach, wherein we obtained feedback on the partially completed items. Like I said, after dedicating 3-4 months towards development, we transition those requirements into small user stories, and we from there on we follow the agile approach. Now, whatever development you have done so far, you tend to do a sprint demo to the business and you collect relevant feedback. Now, that is what you do in iterative phase, followed by incremental phase, wherein you delivered the plan items coming from predictive phase plus the feedback which you got from the iterative phase, okay, for the partially completed items. And this thing you do continuously. Then in the agile phase, you combine iterative plus incremental. So agile is nothing but your iterative phase plus incremental phase. That is what you have been doing from step number 2. Step 2 plus 3 is your step 4. So this is what industry referred to as hybrid agile, but it is not hybrid agile. The correct term for it is water scrum fall. There are some free business analysis courses which are live on this channel. Simply follow a playlist. If you like this video, consider subscribing to this channel. Thanks for your time invested in watching this video. Happy learning.